Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Cynthia Makeover, and today I'll be showing you guys how I glammed my bride up for her introduction. So if you're just stopping by for the first time, welcome to this channel, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you guys. Thank you. So let's get started. I'm going to be cleansing her face using my Blossom micellar water. So next, I'm going to be hydrating her skin using my Kiss Beauty Fix Spray. So to moisturize her face, I'm going to be using my Rachéskincare Glow and Shine Deep Moisturizing Lotion. Guys, I told you guys to get this moisturizer if you have not ordered it. This moisturizer is very good and I've been using it since I got it. So I'm going to let it absorb into the skin before moving on to primer. So I'll be using my Gentle Dove mattifying primer on her T-zone area. So for foundation, I mixed 2 different shades of foundation to get her skin color. I'll be listing it in my description box. So next, I'm going to be spraying her face. This would help me blend in the foundation very well, especially if the foundation is a matte foundation. So this would help you blend in without any difficulty. So next, I'm going to be spraying the foundation to lock in the foundation. So moving on to contour, I'll be using my Zikel foundation in the shade 025 to contour her face. So next, I'm going to be using the same foundation to contour her nose. So moving on to blush, I'm going to be applying this orange color from my Blossom lip palette above her contour. So moving on to highlight, I'll be using 2 shades of concealer. I'll be using my Avour concealer in the shade 025 on the outer corner of her face. Then next, I'm going to be using my Flawless Ivy concealer in the shade Creamy Ivory on the inner corner of her face. So next, I'm going to be using my beauty sponge to blend the concealer on the highlighted area. So next, I'm going to be setting her face using my Sasha Buttercup setting powder. But before setting, I went back with my beauty sponge to blend the areas underneath her eyes to avoid creasing. So next, I'm going to be setting the concealer using my beauty sponge. You want to be gentle while setting the concealer. Don't pack too much setting powder so that it doesn't cake and it doesn't crease. So always make sure you set lightly. So next is to set the rest of her face. I'm going to be using this shade. This is her exact shade from my Adventure Oil Control Powder palette to set the rest of her face. So next, I'm going to be contouring her nose. I already did cream contour, so I'm just using this shade here to set the cream contour and also pronounce it. So to contour her face, I'll be using the same shade from the same powder palette to set the areas I applied my cream contour. So next I'm going to be setting her face again before moving on to baking. So I let her face dry. I'm going to be baking her face using the same Sasha Buttercup setting powder. So moving on to her brows, I'm going to be using my spoolie brush to brush her brows before applying some brow balm on her brows just to lay the hair nicely. So next I'm going to be drawing her brows using my Karite gel liner and my angled brush. So I'm just going to take it gently, following the shape of her brows. So next I'm going to be highlighting her brows using my Flawless Ivy concealer in the shade Creamy Ivory. So next I'm going to be using my blending brush to blend the concealer. So next is to highlight the top of her brow. So I'm using the same foundation I used on her face to highlight the top of her brows. So next I set it using the same powder I used to set the rest of her face. So I'm using the same powder to set the top of her brows. Then I use the lighter shade powder to set under her brows. So moving on to the eyes, I'm going to be applying this Viange eyeshadow base on her lid before going on with my eyeshadow. So moving on to eyeshadow, I'll be using this my Blossom eyeshadow palette. So I'm just going to take this shade here and I'll apply it on the outer corner of her lid, blending it towards the inner corner of her lid. So next I'm going to be using this brown shade from the same palette and apply it on the outer corner of her lid. So I'm still using that same brush to blend the eyeshadow before I went on using a clean brush to blend the lid to avoid any demarcation. So I went back with the brush I used in contouring her nose to snatch her nose more because I wasn't seeing the nose contour anymore, so I had to do it back again. So next I'm going to be using this shade from the same powder palette and apply it on the inner corner of her lid. So my bride wanted glitter, but I told her let's go with pigment. So I'm using my Avour pigment, the golden color. The reason why I told her to raise her head up was because she was putting on lashes already. So if I had allowed her to bring her head down, it will fall on her lashes and it will make it look dirty. So next I'm going to be lining her upper and lower lash line using my Karite gel liner. So next I'm going to be applying the Zaron mascara on her lashes just to make it pop and also give it volume. So moving on to powdery blush, I'll be making use of this House of Tara blush. So I'm going to be using this shade here and apply it on her cheeks. So next I'm going to be setting her face again with my Kiss Beauty Fix Spray. Then I let her face dry. I'm going to be using my Viange Beauty brow setting gel on her brows just to make it look a bit natural. So next is to apply a little highlighter on her face. I'll be using my Mavels Glow Dust highlighter on the place I highlighted just to make the face shine and glow a little. Moving on to the lip, I'm going to be using my Blossom lip palette. So I'll be using this shade here to line the lips. Then I applied this nude shade in the middle just to brighten up the lip. So next I'm going to be applying this mascara on her lower lashes. So my bride wanted me to do this thing I'm actually doing. I can't remember what they call it. I know I used to do this thing back then, but it's been a while I did it. I know most of you will know this thing. She said she saw it on someone and she liked it, that she tried it on her, and I did. It came out really nice. So next I'm going to be setting her face for the last time just to lock the whole makeup. So next we had to let her face dry properly, and yeah, so this was exactly the kind of look she wanted and I'm so happy she loved it. So this is the final look. My bride looked so beautiful. She was taking her professional pictures before they moved to the venue. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and share, subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for coming back. I love you guys. I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.